Hello everyone, welcome to Kill Team, no, Glass Half Dead, sorry. Welcome to Glass Half Dead and one of my Kill Team videos. Today, we're looking at Deathwatch because they've already released the model for it. That's the only reason. Today, we're looking at Deathwatch because it's another one of the factions where they've already released the commander box and I know that I'm not going to buy it. So I can safely review these and not feel like I'm missing out if I want to do an unboxing of its commander. The first thing to do is ignore this. Good. Deathwatch commanders. When you add a Primaris Captain, Primaris Chaplain, or Primaris Librarian to your command roster and create a data card, you can choose for it to have the Deathwatch faction keyword instead of the Adeptus Astartes faction keyword. If you do so, it gains a special issue ammunition ability, but you must use the points values below for its ranged weapons. Let's have a quick look. Okay, that's fine. You're not paying anything extra. Good. And then you get special issue ammunition, which is all the same as it is in the main core book. However, interesting thing to note, you cannot use a Primaris Lieutenant. Which is weird, but okay, that's fine. Instead of a Primaris Lieutenant, your fourth commander is a Watch Master. Level 1, 125 points. Blimey. Level 4, 190. As already mentioned in my previous video, if you're playing at the base 200 points level, you literally cannot take that model because you can't fit a leader into your kill team. Isn't that weird? Moving on. Let's go straight to Master of Battle, the tactic. It's an aura tactic. Use this at the start of the shooting phase. Continues to the end of the battle round. As long as this model is not shaken, you can reroll failed hit rolls. That's not bad at all. For 2 command points, you could quite effectively be making sure that all of your team gets rerolls. Very nice. In an odd roundabout way, this actually reduces the usefulness of a frag cannon. Obviously, a frag cannon is still amazing and you should take one. However, because this buffs your chance to hit, auto hit weapons less useful. To be clear, for anybody about to jump down my throat for saying that, I said slightly less useful, okay? I didn't say not great. Moving on. Right. Standard 6-inch move, 2 up, 4 for 6 wounds, 4 attacks, LD 9, save 2 up. Pretty nice. Armed with Guardian Spear, frag grenades, crack grenades. But notice you cannot swap that. This is what you get. So what is the Guardian Spear? So it's got a range and melee profile. In range, it's 24 inches, rapid fire 1, strength 4, AP -1, damage 2. Oh, okay. Alright. Okay. Sure. That's not brilliant. That is, if I'm not mistaken, a bolt rifle, right? Is that right? No. I can't remember what it is, and I don't have my core rulebook here. But that's a basic gun. Oh, but damage 2. Oh. Damage 2 is nice. Okay. I forgive it. Do I forgive it for 125 points? I'm not sure. Let's keep going. However, one thing to keep in mind is that by using that, you can't use your special issue ammunition, which I think is probably a missed opportunity. I feel the Guardian Spear should have been given that. In melee, strength +1, so you continue to strength 5. AP -3, very nice. Damage D3. Cool. Basically, when I see AP -3, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. It wins. It wins. And then damage D3, yeah. You're going to be pretty effective, considering you're hitting on 2s, you're going to be pretty effective at killing things quite easily. Normal things, not other commanders. And then frag and crack grenades exactly as you'd expect. Now, you do have special issue ammunition, but as discussed, you can't use it. You have, and they shall know no fear, you can reroll failed nerve test for this model. I have recently discovered that's really useful, and sucks. If you're fighting him, obviously, for him it's great. Iron Halo, 4 up in Vuln Save. Transhuman Physiology. So I'm sure you all know if you're watching this video. Ignore the penalty to this model's hit rolls for 1 flesh wound it has suffered. And that's it. Yeah. It suddenly occurs to me that this has been a pretty short review, and without going into the details of the Primaris Captain, Primaris Chaplain, Primaris Librarian, there is not much meat to this review, and I should have done an unboxing of this model. Oh well, let's have some musings, shall we? He starts at 125 points. I'm not sure I know why. Don't get me wrong, 4-up invuln is really useful, and a standard 2-up save, again, really useful. Weapon skill, ballistic skill, 2-ups, very useful. 6 wounds is great. 4 attacks is good. However, let's take a look at that compared to an Orc war boss for half the points. Okay? He's hitting you on 2s. Your Watchmaster's hitting you on 2s. Strength is 6, toughness 5. Strength is 4, toughness is 4. 6 wounds, 4 attacks. 6 wounds, 4 attacks. Leadership 9, leadership 8. Okay. Now, obviously, big issue here, save is 4-up. And he doesn't get an invulnerable save. You're paying 63 points to have +2 to your save throw, your normal save throw, and a 4-up invuln. I don't know if that's worth it, guys. Now, I haven't gone into the weapons, but when you're only T4, if he's got a power claw, he's wounding you on 2s, and that's going to really hurt. Whereas you've got toughness 5, he is not able to wound you on 2s with anything he's got. Now, I'm not saying that this is a fair comparison, not at all. I'm just pointing out that for half the points, a war boss is kind of similar. You know, if you manage to get into close combat, and you probably should be able to, because you've got Here We Go and Mega War, you can probably defeat the Watchmaster. How do you feel about that, Deathwatch players? Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, yeah, okay, sure, maybe the war boss will get the charge off on us. But you know what I'm doing? I'm sticking 2 guys with frag cannons either side of the Watchmaster, so that if they charge the Watchmaster, they have to also charge the 2 guys with frag cannons. Suddenly, you're taking, 4d6? Also hitting Overwatch shots? Boom, that's a dead war boss. And that's, you know what, good rebuttal. Shit, good rebuttal, guys. I hadn't thought of that. Okay, yeah, you win this round. Fair play. Okay. Because it's all about context, isn't it? I could have picked anything else here and said, oh, well, let's compare it to the Tech Priest Dominus, which is, of course, only 5 points away. That's probably something I should have done, but I didn't. Anyway, I just thought it was an interesting little note to compare it to something half its value. Almost exactly half its value, but has a very, very similar stat line. And of course, as you're running in, you're going to be getting ranged shot, at least one opportunity to get a ranged shot off, which could be doing 2 damage, potentially 4, almost killing the war boss, whereas the war boss can't do that. So again, it swings and roundabouts. However, I just thought you'd like to see the comparison side by side of 125 points of Deathwatch Commander compared to 62 points of Orc Commander. A commander that in my unboxing video for them said had made me despair at the tragedy that was the Orcish team, that I was going to stop trying to make them work. And yet, I look at this guy, he doesn't turn me off from playing a Deathwatch kill team. If I wanted to play a Deathwatch kill team, I'd still run this guy. I think he's pretty good. Why? I don't know. Well, I guess it's about context, isn't it? What the Deathwatch kill team can bring outside of his 75 points that you'll be left with, I think is better and still more effective than what the Orcs can bring with their 148 remaining points. That says a lot. About me. Not about Orcs or Deathwatch. Just my bias. Cool. Well, I hope this has been vaguely interesting, guys. I hope you think the Deathwatch guy is cool. And I don't know what else to say, so I'm going to stop the video here. I hope you've all had a great day. I hope you're enjoying the Commander and Kill Team content in general. If you do, give me a like, a subscribe, and most of all, please tell your friends. Well, they don't have to be your friends. Just people you know that aren't dicks. That'd be great. Awesome. Well, I hope you've all had a great day. Glass half dead, logging off.